Let's get into game 2 of Picks and Bans, though.
So that was a pretty commanding game coming out of Excellence. If XL wants to counteract that, they need to figure out just to play a little bit more safer because their early game strategy didn't really work out for them with the Wrath. The Fenrir got instantly punished using his Unchained on the blue buff. He thought he wasn't going to get contested, it seems like.
I think he thought Excellence was just going to do the back RPs. That's what I think he thought. Because they kind of pulled off of the speed buff and then went towards there, and then he just like looked at the blue buff, jumped on it, and then the cooldown wasn't there.
And that was a beautiful counter engage coming out of Excellence, just recognizing that, hey, you're going to steal our blue, we're going to fight you.
And Picks and Bans, very similar so far. Guan Yu and Thor taken out by Excellence once again, and they're going to remain on the Order side. So Excel, I think, preferring this Chaos side, and they're going to take out Susano and Ao Kuang as well. I don't see any reason for Excellence to not pick up Raijin here.
Same exact ban so far. Is it going to be the same exact first pick coming at Excellence? It worked the first game. There's no reason not to do it again.
I don't think so either. I mean, the Raijin put out a ton of pressure, and it is going to be the Raijin.
And XL is going to have to figure out a way to counteract that. Like you mentioned before, the Scylla pick early on, it was early because of the fact that the Raijin was already picked.
Yes.
There was no reason for XL to really pick it unless they didn't want to reveal other things. However, in this situation, might want to lean away from Scylla this game.
And maybe find something that's going to synergize a little bit better. They are going to grab the Athena. So taking that away from Turtle, I think, is going to be pretty good. The Athena did set up a significant amount, and we saw him kind of escape out of a lot of situations. I'd say the ult was useful as well. We saw Herp stay alive in a couple of those scenarios, and they're going to go Awilix as well. Interesting.
It is interesting because they picked up the Athena with their Awilix, not a Kumbhakarna, not a Bacchus, not a Sobek, to synergize more with that Awilix ulti. And the Raijin escape doesn't get pulled by the Awilix ultimates, so there's no synergy quite yet as to why this Awilix pick was picked.
And Excellence also didn't run many jumps outside of the Anhur. The Anhur was the only one with the jump. So Excellence going to go back into Nemesis, but they will pick up the Bacchus, which can get countered by that Awilix.
This might be a situation where Excellence wants the Bacchus to get pulled, just so he can get into a better position to intoxicate, and then Nemesis, Raijin will easily follow up off of that.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit worrying sometimes if you get behind as the Bacchus and get pulled, but, I mean, delivered right into the middle of a team, that's kind of what you want in a lot of situations.
You want to get a 5-man intoxicate if you can, especially considering the fact that you have a Raijin that can follow up with a lot of damage. The Nemesis will amplify the target that you want to lock down as soon as possible. So Excellence being very confident with that Bacchus pick.
And a lot of Hunters taken off the board. Hou-Yi, Neith, and Xbalanque Apollo. So the same or very similar bans. I think it was the Xbalanque that was left open last time. I can't remember what they banned in place of it. Was it like a Janus?
It was a Robin.
Okay.
A lot of Hunters off the table. Cupid is open. We saw Air Cougar playing lights out on the
Cupid actually really good against Excellence's team comp as well. Obviously, the Raijin Thunder Crash going to be negated. Same with the Nemesis, Double Dash, and Bacchus Leap. But instead, they're going to go with the Anhur. So taking that away from Excellence, I'd say Herp played pretty well, but I wouldn't say he carried with it. It's kind of like there.
There's the synergy. You got the Anhur knockup for the Willish. That's true.
Yeah, but that's so dangerous.
Sometimes you just got to YOLO, man.
The Zap Man, right? If it's Zap Man, you're like, all right, Zap, jump in the middle of Ford. He's like, I'm already in the air.
So Cabrakan and Medusa are going to be last picked for Excellence. Going to try to lock down targets without escapes. It's going to be nice for Excellence to maybe catch this Janus in the middle of a lane with that ultimate of Cabrakan.
Yeah, you can't really portal through. You have to be pretty close to the walls, and it's going to be a tier into the Soul Lane matched up against the Cabrakan. We've really started to see the Cabrakan find his way into the Soul Lane a lot recently.
And that's a nice counter. Obviously, you can use the Fearless to counteract the Tremors, so that matchup will favor the tier early on.
So we'll see how it plays out here. Game 2, though, I mean, Excellence just across the board. Individually, as a team, their strategies looked so much better than Excel. I really want to see Excel kind of probably come together a little bit more. They seemed a little bit timid at counter-engaging.
Well, the issue was they went for an aggressive early strat that didn't work for them, and they didn't know how to play from behind. So if they, who knows what would have happened had that strategy worked out early on. Maybe they would have snowballed completely.
Yeah, that'd be real. Or like not only stealing the buff, but potentially winning a 1v1. Like if the Fenrir has jump there, maybe they just straight up win versus the Nim Herc. It's pretty close.
Potentially. The Summer Kong would have probably walked away and Fenrir would have jumped away. Just having to reset more than anything else. After you take blue buff, you don't normally want to fight right away.
All right, spot the shenanigans, Tolly.
All right.
Trick question. Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa. The shenanigans was a flying snake. That was the shenanigan.
I didn't see any.
There is that was a trick question. There was none.
I was like looking so hard.
But then the Medusa started ascending into true godhood, and yeah, that was the shenanigans. Predators here. The recently buffed Cabrakan GG emote is out. You can see the warding coming from Excel as well. But I don't think they're going to invade this time. I think they're like, we'll take a break after last time's mishap.
Excel, however, they are going to start their blue buff in this situation, wanting to allow Fudge to get to the mid lane as soon as possible, try to get those mid harpies. It's going to allow Kaajee to kind of get solo farm early on, whereas Lycan is going to kind of take away a little bit of farm from Predators early on. Yeah,
there's a couple options, and it's kind of like, who do you want to get ahead, your mid or your solo? And it seems like mid for Excel and solo for Excellence, as neither mid harpies has been taken, and the right one's quickly going to be going the way of Excel as well. But that means Excellence gets the fire imps, the fire elementals.
They're giving up the right side mid harpies as a response, however. So
what's more worth?
Favoring Excellence in this situation, I would say.
The fire imps over the mid harpies?
No, I'm sorry. It favors Excel.
Yeah, it's I knew you got confused by the teams.
The names. One day.
One day. Well, one day it'll all be natural. Whether they team name, they change their name, or we just kind of figure it out. Nemesis, nice juke by Lycan there, not getting hit by the unstable vortex. It's kind of underestimated how important it is to not take early game poke.
Forced the early purification out of the Awilix, so it's going to be you have to be very careful. But they just engage very aggressively, trying to zone out, making sure that there was nothing happening on the left side mid harpies.
This could be trouble for Fudge, though. I mean, he's not the healthiest, but unstable vortex actually going to hit Farleez, and now Lycan getting chased too. Oh, doesn't have the range to hit the feather step. I mean, that was a kill. I think maybe it was still off cooldown.
It seems that it was. He could have easily found just a one hit. He didn't need to get both hits and feather step in that situation. Sure, it does more damage, but the health was just so low from Lycan that should have been a kill.
Yeah, and you can see Predators, because that early push on the right-hand side is going to be favoring the lane for him. But, I mean, it's Kaajee on tier. I mean, after you hit level 3 on tier, as long as you don't get too low, I mean, you're relatively safe. You just have this massive heal.
But he is getting pushed under tower in the situation. His heal is only level 2, getting zoned out. Just has to play ever so carefully. Once he hits level 7, then this matchup is going to start going his way.
Oh, look at this invade from XL this time. They don't want to give up this early pressure that they've got. And finally, Excellence will pick up their back harpies. However, the lane advantage will go to Excel because of that. So they have a couple options. They could invade the left side back harpies or just do their own.
Janus still level, just now hitting level 5, so does have the global available to him. So Excellence has to always take into consideration on both side lanes whether or not that aggression is coming.
Kaajee gonna heal up and actually get stunned out, hit by the Tremors as well. He'll live, but I mean, this is dangerous for him. Predators had level 5 there, but not enough mana to ult. I don't think that's a kill either way, but he does get lane control, forces Kaajee away. I expect them both to just TP after this, though.
Yeah, the Cabrakan should have been backing at the situation, making sure that he syncs up his teleport as soon as possible, not having the mana clear the next wave. And in the dual lane, there's a lot of control coming out of Excellence, making sure that Mr. Turtle, the way he's been playing it, he's constantly really flopping all over the place, just making sure that Excel can't do anything.
Just a big drunk man, just jumping all over you. It's not, yeah, I mean, it's not pretty, right? Like, it's kind of funny when you see it, but, like, really think about it. Like, it's a giant fat man who's drunk, and he's just jumping on you with his belly first.
With a jug of wine,
With a jug of wine. So it's all, you're getting all sticky. It's spilling all over you. It's kind of rude.
Gotta bring a towel.
Kind of rude when you really think about it.
You gotta bring a towel.
Gotta bring a lot of towels. And no team really trying to force anything just yet. The buffs have respawned. Speed buffs have already been picked up. Blue buff's going to be picked up as well. So everyone playing relatively safe. No, nothing too cheeky. Excellence have about a 300 gold lead, so a little bit of out farming.
However, that gold lead can be basically diminished by the purple pot that Predators did pick up. So it is relatively very even at this point.
It's nearly identical. And Predators, I mean, he just needs that purple pot to get the lane dominance. I mean, he can't get... like, a Cabrakan who's behind is one of the worst things because all of his abilities are melee, and he doesn't have a self-heal. Pushed under his own tower.
This is the situation that we were talking about where Tier's level 7. He wants to trade poke now. He'll have a greater sustain than the Cabrakan will deal damage.
And Awilix there was trying to set up a kill onto Predators, but he was pushed under his own tower. And Fudge not trying to waste any time. He's just going to head back to lane. Not worth losing those minions. Left-hand Harpy's going to go the way of Excellence, and I think that's really where they're getting their lead from, is just constant control of those. I mean, the golden XP adds up.
It does. But you have to look for a play off of that golden experience. You can't just be taking those mid-harpies all the time and do nothing with it. Maybe look for aggressive warding, and then whenever the enemy comes around the corner, you're going to be in a position to, because you have the timer, obviously, whenever you do it, so you have to utilize that to your advantage by catching people off guard.
I want to see Herp and Drizzi fight again, right? Because they were going at it last game. They were both trying to show each other up.
Yeah, Herp was just going closer to the Xbalanque, wanting to get poison darted, but he was getting the better end of it with the in-hand specifically, so that kind of trade.
Yo, the penetration, I mean, Anhur swings early. He has so much damage that you got to worry about. Predator's low mana here. He'll be fine. He knows it too. He's hitting that laugh. He's like, yeah,
his teleport's down though. He doesn't have much mana. Nemesis are going to ulti in the mid lane, as well as the Raijin. Going to force the disengage from Fudge. Athena ultimate as well, but a lot of damage taken. And Fudge going to barely escape that with a sprint.
I don't know if the jump was up from Turtle, but he probably would have been able to secure a kill onto the Awilix there. Really nice ultimate from the Athena specifically. You could see the Raijin ult targeted onto the Athena, but because he had that CC immunity, he didn't get taunted out. He was able to also reduce the damage on the target as well. So a lot of burst from Excellence, but really well played by Excel as well to negate a significant amount.
Trading 3 ultimates for 1. Athena ultimate down for 3 on the side. Bacchus, Raijin, and Nemesis. Excellent starting the Gold Fury, but
it's
Excel
risky.
Spots it.
I mean, this is risky. I mean, the Janus can ult right in there, but
they're not.
They're taking way too long. They're going to get a kill, it seems, off of the zone from the Nemesis, but maybe not even. Okay, Janus finally hits it, but Gold Fury was picked up by Excellence, and it seems like they're going to escape with only 1 death.
That's very important that they only lost 1 in this situation. That could have been a lot more. The support should have just kind of left the Nemesis alone. There was 3 ultimates down on the side of Excellence, and Excel just didn't recognize that and didn't play aggressive enough.
A little bit scared. I think same with game 1 there. But Excel do get first blood, so they get 500 gold to negate it. It was a very early Gold Fury, and for those who don't know, we really don't talk about it too much. The Gold Fury does scale throughout the game to where it's, I think, 150 per player at the first minute, and then it's like 350 at the final.
I believe it starts off at 100,
or is it
and then
100?
it goes up to 350.
350.
Yes. So in that situation, each player getting about 160 gold.
So pretty much even for the most part. I mean, Excellence still have their same gold lead from out farming. Taunt coming through, but Raijin actually going to counter ult. Now trouble for Rawski. He did get Nim ulted, and the Thunder Crash going to help secure the kill. Predators has rotated in as Awilix jumps incredibly aggressively, knocked up. Turtle finds the kill. Kaajee deep as well. Gonna find a single man knockup, but that's just to help him get out. Turtle falls through the portal, and it's just going to be Excellence with the return 2 kills.
Speed buff is up, and that's exactly where Excellence is headed to in this situation. The Janus ultimate is down, so not going to be able to utilize it to try to help the tier defend this.
And Drizzi getting poked out once again. Herp getting the better of this 1v1 matchup. Kaajee says, please don't steal my blue, I need it. But the Athena ult's on top of him, and Turtle actually could be in trouble, but gets the stun just as the Athena lands. And a really good ult coming out from Predator is going to lock these members away from each other. The rotations come in from most of Excel, though. Turtle going to drop his ult, trying to get his jump up. He's juking as much as he can, but the rest of his team has already bailed out, so he's just a sacrifice at this point.
Looks like he's going to try to stall as long as possible. Going to go towards the tier 2 tower, wanting to buy as much time.
But he did buy time.
He got the blue buff also secured away from the tier.
I mean, is that worth, right? You steal 2 buffs, you lose your support.
At this early on, I would say so. Gold Fury is already down. As long as you don't lose any of your own buffs in the situation, you have a pretty good gold and experience lead. You're a comfortable lead.
Unless Predator or Herp dies here, there comes the ultimate Desert's Fury. But a good juke from Herp, going to keep him alive, trying to turn it, activating the damage, but it's not enough. Drizzi gets the 1v1.
Well, the Athena was there,
with the assist. He didn't do any damage though.
It's like, where's my team?
No. I'll give it to you. Come on, you got to give that 1v1.
That was a 1v1.
I think Herp
the dash was down, it seemed, from Medusa not having it available to escape away from the Anhur. So favoring that little 1v1 skirmish. Now going to have Ninja Tabby on the Anhur as opposed to the Warrior Tabby online for the Medusa.
And I mean, level 11 right now. 5,100 gold. I mean, it's about a 400 direct gold lead over Herp. And that's including Herp getting that early Gold Fury. So, I mean, that's a pretty big lead for Excel in this dual lane. It's probably something I would like to see them abuse as well, right? Rotate that on her into team fights.
you want to be looking for these 1v1s if you're the Anhur because you have the Athena. However, if your Bacchus is going to neglect you in the dual lane, you don't want to be playing up against the Anhur that has an Athena by his side.
And you can see the rotation coming in from Lycan as well, trying to deal with the advantage that Drizzi has. But, I mean, X was following right behind them. That team.
That tag, that excellence tag, EXLLC.
EX, and then what's the, there's EL, and there's L, like, I don't even know, man.
One day.
One day.
Can we just find them all?
No. Totally, you join hi-rez and now you just want to find people? See, now you
plan.
know the power
That's
of finds. Janus ults aggressively. They're trying to isolate Predators, and they're going to find him in the middle of 4. But this could be a pretty big bait, as Excellence has rotated in. Predators still managing to stay alive. Kaajee got the Athena ult on top of him, but it's not enough, as Farleez secures the kill. And now Predators just getting dove so deep, and he's just swinging away, trying to get the seismic crush. Finally hits the stun onto Rawski, who needs to charge up his ult, but Lycan going to chase him under tower, gets the slow, the taunt not going to keep him alive. And Excellence still just wiping the floor with XL in every single fight.
2 for nothing. Medusa just barely off the mark with that the ultimate, wanting to try to come around the corner unexpectedly, but not going to find it. The idea was there, just a little bit too impatient. Now getting the tier 1 tower on the right-hand side, speed buff and blue buff has respawned. Excellence doing a good job stripping that away from XL.
This is like the worst. I feel like XL have the worst timing imaginable, right? So they rotate 4 over to kill Predators because he's out of position again. They can't find the kill, but not only does Predators live, they lose 2, they lose the tower, and just after the tower falls, their buffs spawn. So they lose those. It's just like a 3 for 0 in favor of XL.
It's calculated by
like
Excellence. Excellence just knows all these things.
Because they're excellent.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that they're Excellence, and XL are trying to excel.
They're trying. But they're just not excellent.
Excellence, because each Bimber is excellent, and they all are excellence, exemplified. 4-3.
Back to the game.
1-0. Excellence getting the better of XL. We're 12 minutes in, and they have a decent lead once again. I would say XL having a little bit better of an early game, but about in the same position in the same time frame, where it's, you know, kind of this 2,000 to 3,000 gold lead. Drizzi has an advantage in the duo, but they haven't really been able to abuse it as much. He's really only found the 1v1, but neither hunter is really impactful in these fights.
This situation, Anhur should be looking aggressively. However, the rest of XL looking for the gold for you potentially. Nobody in position for Excellence. The warning situation definitely favoring XL. They're trying to capitalize off this.
Herp is going to smell it out. His ultimate, it is available too, but no one's going to be looking his way. The rotations come in. Turtle going to have a big flop, finds 3, and here comes Raijin as well. Farleez takes out Fudge, and Turtle going to be chasing on the right-hand side. Look at this, the double portal through, but Gold Fury, I believe it was stolen away, or no, it wasn't. It was picked up by XL.
It was very nicely done. The secure by the Lawbringer as well. Now Drizzi going to be in a lot of trouble, going to get slowed out. The Bacchus belly flop connecting onto Kaajee, going to get stunned out. However, Defender of Olympus is going to buy him a lot of time. Nice Sanctuary coming out of the Medusa, just going to make sure that she gets away as well.
Overall, it seems like a 1-for-1, but Gold Fury in XL's favor, finally getting some footing in this game.
Just trying to get back a little bit. You know, they cut the deficit. Excellence was up a little bit more. Now they're up 2,000. At this stage of the game, 13 minutes. It's a comfortable lead, but it wasn't as much as Excellence was up before.
And tier 1 tower getting aggressed on too. I love Excellence know that if they lose something, you got to get something in return. They've been really good about that. So getting that tower, I mean, completely negating that Gold Fury, I would say, after the couple kills, another couple stolen buffs, and the tower. So I'd say even overall.
This is something that XL has to take advantage of more. The warding, that last minute was perfect and spot on. They had a nice little triangular formation of sentry wards, and on top of that, they had a ward around the Fire Giant side that spotted such an aggressive rotation out of Excellence. Now, if I'm XL, I'm thinking this is something that we have to rinse and repeat if we want to get back into this game.
And right now here, you can see Predators 0-0-3. He's taken a lot of beatings, but he does have that lead over Kaajee right now, about 700 gold. And I would say neither Soul Laner or Hunter is really rotating. It seems to just be the 3v3 cores that are fighting, and they just sometimes happen to be on the right-hand side.
Predator's just going to run away. Nothing happening in the Soul Lane side of things. Janus trying to look for a play, but it is a late game Cabrakan.
Herp going to pop his Purification. It looks like he wanted to fight back in. Actually, his escape is down, and you could see Drizzi trying to make an aggressive notion. I think if Rawski has ult there, that's a dead Medusa, but still down after that last engagement.
Has to be careful. Medusa playing with fire in this situation, losing a lot of health, and the purification is down. So he's still wanting to play aggressive, trying to like make a name for himself kind of deal, playing 1v1 against Anhur.
I'm a little bit surprised we're not seeing more rotations from Excellence, but as I say that, a blink-in by Predators, he's going to find the stun onto Hatters, who needs to get to the wall. The Raijin ult, though, and the Cabrakan going to lock him in. Nowhere to go. Hatters falls, and now Fudge just trying to escape. Should be able to jump over the wall. The problem is, will he be chased?
It looks like we do have a chase going on.
Oh, he's being pinched
Cabrakan
hard.
wants to go in tier 1 tower. Not going to do enough damage. Medusa ulti connecting as well. The Tremor's not going to get canceled by the Feather Step. Bacchus is going to peel away for the Cabrakan. Beautifully done.
I mean, the second Kaajee lands with that Lawbringer, the last tick of Mr. Turtle's Bell to the Gods finds the stun. And that probably could have been a return kill, honestly, if Kaajee could push 200 tower there as they take the tower shots. But instead, it's a multi-man grouping. 5 members of Excellence all here. Excel, they're down 2. So if it's a 5v3, not the best numbers fight. Tier 1 going to be the first thing targeted, though. Excellence not really looking for the kills, just want to get the free objective.
The space and time has been used from spawn, but it's just going to be a little bit too late as the members of Excellence going to go look for a potential invade on the red, but it's not up available. So nice tier 1 tower from Excellence. They're going to rotate over to the mid lane. Excel, they need to figure out a way. I'm just face bombing right now.
All right, bro. See, I'm down if you're like 15K ahead. But you're like 3K ahead, right? That's all I'm saying.
It's too early.
It's too early. If you have this massive lead and you're trolling, okay, right? Whatever. The game's not one-sided just yet. There's only 3K separating them.
I'm still face bombing.
He does have CDR at least. 20%.
Well, calculated. It'll be up for this next team fight.
Watch him die. I really want to see him die. Let's just watch.
Yeah, I just want to watch.
Nah, there's no one going to be able to rotate. Athena ult. Oh, Athena ult. I mean, they could kill him.
Athena could have ulted here. Still can. There we go.
Okay. But the rotation's coming in too. Let's watch this silently. If Predators had ult there, he could have blocked the path. Oh, he's going to live, isn't he?
Okay. Well, not going to find a kill, not going to find any return kill as well. It was a nice idea that Predators was aggressively positioning himself, knowing that he could get turned on. The Athena ultimate was definitely in the back of his mind. He knew that the rotation from the rest of his team could have easily came at any given moment as well.
It was a bait.
It's just a bait, bro.
Didn't work out for either team, though. Athena ult, they at least got the Athena ult down, so it's not going to be up for this next gold tier, at least at the start if Excellence set up for it. You can see Raijin has not backed yet. His mana is pretty low. Like to see him go and finish off his Soul Reaver, but he's probably looking to get the gold to finish that off. That's probably what he's probably looking for the gold right now. Can we see gold in hand?
The gold fury is up, so that could be a nice option.
He has enough.
Yeah, he should be backing at this point in time. Sitting at about 1,600, so that's the timing. Well, he wants to pick up the red buff, making sure that doesn't fall before the Gold Fury gets started by either team.
So he's going to have a pretty big power spike off of this one. You can see the Jotuns has been finished for the Nim as well. So Lycan, an item ahead over Fudge for the second game in a row. I mean, Fudge he's been behind so much gold in both these matches. It's been really rough for him. Predator's just going to be split pushing. He has his TP, and he's drawn Kaajee over here as well underneath him.
Excellence going to start up the Gold Fury. Some members of Excel are around the corner. Anhur did push the wave, could potentially look for a flank, but going to look to play very safe. Looks like Tier did teleport over, and there's going to be a nice reset from Excellence as a response. Look at the zoning coming out of Cabrakan in the proxy. Yeah,
just going to force members probably to go and look for him, and it's going to be Fudge rotating over, but he's already backed, which means it's going to be less numbers in the mid. Kaajee going aggressive. No Athena ult on top of him, but the Janus ult is. Oh, and Farleez barely sidesteps that. Turtle in a little bit of trouble, but it's only one member, so he should be fine as Cabrakan just blocks off the Janus on the top end of the fight.
Beautiful zoning coming out of Predators, making sure that there's nothing that Hatters can do in the rest of this team fight. Forced it back early on. Both Sanctuaries are down for Hatters as well, the Purification and the Sanctuary.
Kaajee and Hatters also no ultimate for them, and because of that, Excellence is going to take this time to go aggressive here. Athena charging the dash, trying to get in. There are 3 members grouped, but she needs to pull it now. There it goes. Ultimate is is online. Excellence does pick up the Gold Fury, and Rawski falls as well.
That's one pick. That's the second one. The Sanctuary was used trying to buy a little bit of time, but is it going to be enough? Drizzi going to get slowed. Nice Sanctuary coming on Nemesis. Nemesis going to be a third kill already on the board after the Gold Fury. It could be a tier 2 tower in response.
And that's one thing that we don't really talk about Raijin, how useful he is, because he has 4 shots and he can CC these Guardians who don't have any purification or CC immunity at all. I mean, Rawski walks up, he's trying to get the taunt, but I mean, just immediately the taunts come from the Raijin, and he can't contest it at all. Predators here going to be taking up the tower, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it. Very low right now, and it falls. 1,500 gold. Run, Predators, run. Run, Predators, run.
Blink?
Run,
Yeah,
Predators, run.
He has the blink available to him.
Actually, that's actually a pretty cheeky play. So he ults, which means Awilix has to jump over it or go around it, and then he blinks past it. I actually don't mind that play. That's interesting.
Well, the problem was that the Awilix wasn't even chasing in that path.
But he, like, assuming.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
He could have just blinked. It didn't really even need the ulti, honestly.
Come on, man.
Trying to style a little bit.
Let him style.
He's trying to style.
I mean, he's already been styling. He ults his team in mid when they're only 3K
And then
up.
he ultis himself.
Yeah.
It just blinks away.
Hey, man. Predators, 2-0 and 6.
I mean, it's not taking any credit away from him. He is doing a lot of work. But at the same time, you know, you always have to be focused. At this point, anything could happen in this situation. You still have to respect the mobility coming out of Excel. They have the Janus available, and they have a lot of burst damage as well with the Anhur and the Awilix. If anybody's out of position, they're going to fall.
Yeah, Impale into the Feather Step. I mean, that's still 2 really high damaging abilities. And now Predator's actually going aggressive. He's trying to zone out the speed buff. Taunt missed by Rawski there, but even if it connects, I mean, there's really no follow-up. I don't think Fudge can fight that.
In the duo lane, going to force the Anhur just to disengage. Meanwhile, there's going to be a 4-on-4 around the speed buff, which has been stolen from Lycan.
No Raijin. I mean, this might be a time to fight. Oh.
So much damage.
Yeah, I don't even think Hatters expected that. Predator's flung back under tower and then locked in. He is rooted and then taunted, but I mean, he's just so tanky. Honestly, it's just he's so ahead of the team.
Oh my goodness, that Intoxicate just taking away the life of Fudge. So far, it's a 2-for-0 trade in the favor of Excellence, and with the rotation of Farleez, this could be a third one easily.
Predators still alive. There comes the taunt, but Raijin ult on top, and Lycan finishes off Rawski, and now the Medusa ult. Ooh. They're gonna find one stunned.
4.
Drizzi dies.
That's 4.
And it's only Kaajee left alive, and I don't see him stopping this, and I don't see Excel stopping Excellence. It's going to be another 2-0 in favor of them, and their only wins so far are against Excel, but honestly, they've been pretty dominating.
And that's something that they're going to have to utilize, even though it's only against Excel, who are currently last place at 0-6. This puts them in a position where they're getting a little bit of a confidence boost.
Yes. You don't really think about that too much, and Barrage and Rival were the 2 teams that finished, you know, 1 and 2 during all of the qualifiers. Excellence really wasn't able to kind of come close to them, but I'm pretty excited to see them face off next week.
We'll see how they do next week.
That's going to be the schedule on board. So next Thursday, we're going to have Most Wanted, undefeated Most Wanted, taking out Soar just yesterday off against Kingdom Esports. Soar trying to find some wins against Noble, and then Eager going to be taking on Elevate.
That should be a really interesting matchup as well, that Eager versus Elevate. I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, and just to remind you guys, the games from Saturday are going to be played next Monday, July 4th, so you guys get to join us for all the festive holidays if you're American, although even it's kind of the European.
Can we have a grill in the back, just like
I'm
always
down.
rolling?
Can we just like be eating some hot dogs? We'll get F Dot will be here as well for sure. I mean, that's going to be excited. But that's going to be it for this week of the SCL, guys. Thank you guys for joining us, for all the production staff, for all the members of the casting crew as well. We'll see you next week.